The red emergency lights pulsed through Deep Space Repair Station Beta 7's main control room as Tom Miller rubbed his tired eyes. After 16 hours of fixing broken nav systems and patching hull breaches, he had been ready to head to his quarters for some well-deserved rest. But the universe, it seemed, had other plans. "Unidentified vessel approaching on Vector 739, announced the station's AI in its calm voice. "Ship appears to be damaged." Tom straightened up in his chair and pulled up the main display. The ship that appeared on his screen made him whistle softly. It was a Stellar Confederation vessel, all sleek silver curves and glowing blue energy lines. These ships were famous across the galaxy for their advanced technology and supposedly perfect engineering. They almost never needed repairs. "This should be interesting," he muttered, watching as the ship's erratic flight path brought it closer to the station. Its quantum drive was flickering oddly, pulses of energy shooting out at random intervals. The communication system crackled to life. A holographic face appeared, tall, gray-skinned, with the characteristic high forehead of the Stellar Confederation species. The alien's expression showed clear discomfort, perhaps even embarrassment. "This is first speaker read of the Stellar Confederation vessel Eternal Light. We..." There was a painful pause. "We request emergency docking clearance." Tom leaned forward. "This is Chief Engineer Tom Miller of Deep Space Repair Station Beta 7. Clearance granted. First speaker. Proceed to Dock 6. I'm seeing some unusual energy readings from your quantum drive." "Impossible." Another voice cut in from the alien ship. "Our quantum drive systems are perfect. They do not malfunction." Tom bit back a smile. He'd heard this kind of pride before, from every advanced species that thought they'd achieved engineering perfection. "Perfect or not. Speaker read, your ship is leaving a trail of quantum particles that shouldn't be there. We'll take a look once you're docked." The alien vessel limped into the massive dock, its usually graceful form shuddering slightly as the magnetic clamps engage. Tom grabbed his tool belt, not the fancy holographic multi-tools that most modern engineers used, but solid, physical tools that had served him well for 20 years in space. As he walked to the dock, he was joined by his small team, Jack with his modified scanner array, and Maria carrying her famous emergency kit, full of spare parts from a dozen different species technologies. They'd learned long ago that sometimes the best solution came from mixing and matching. The Stellar Confederation's engineering team was already waiting when they arrived. 5 tall, gray-skinned figures stood near their ship's main access port, their advanced diagnostic tools hovering in the air around them. Their chief engineer, a particularly tall individual, looked at Tom's tool belt with poorly hidden disdain. "I am lead engineer first class superior," the alien said, not bothering to provide a name. "We have already run full diagnostics. Our systems detect no faults." Tom nodded politely, pulling out an old-fashioned wrench and a modified multimeter that looked like it had been repaired dozens of times. "Mind if we take a look anyway? Sometimes old tech sees things new tech misses." The alien engineers exchanged glances that clearly said they thought this was a waste of time. First speaker Reed, however, stepped forward. "Proceed, Engineer Miller. Our ship's unusual behavior has concerned us." Tom and his team went to work, using their simple tools to trace power flows and test connections. It took less than 30 minutes for Maria to spot the problem. "Chief," she called out, pointing to a seemingly ordinary mechanical coupling. "Look at this wear pattern." Tom crouched down, shining his flashlight on the spot. He grinned. The coupling, a simple mechanical part that connected 2 sections of the quantum drive's cooling system, had developed a microscopic crack. It was so small that the alien's advanced sensors, calibrated to detect major quantum fluctuations, had simply overlooked it. "Found your problem," Tom said, standing up. "You've got a hairline crack in this coupling. It's letting your coolant mix with the quantum field. That's what's causing the drive instability." The alien engineers stared at the coupling in disbelief. Lead engineer first-class superior scanned it with their advanced tools, which still showed nothing wrong. Tom pulled a spare coupling from Maria's kit. We can have this fixed in about an hour. Sometimes the simplest solution is the best one. First speaker Reed looked at the simple mechanical part, then at Tom's worn tools, and finally at the human engineer's confident smile. Something in the alien's expression shifted, like they were seeing humans in a completely new light. Perhaps, Reed said slowly, we have something to learn from your methods after all. The repair bay hummed with activity as Tom's team prepared to fix the Stellar Confederation ship's quantum drive. The alien engineers hovered nearby, their holographic displays filling the air with complex diagrams and streams of data that they insisted on consulting. Our systems recommend a complete quantum field reset, Lead Engineer First Class Superior announced, gesturing at the floating displays. The AI suggests. Hold that thought, Tom interrupted, pulling his creaky wheeled toolbox closer to the drive housing. Let's try something simpler first. He picked up his modified wrench, the one with the built-in radiation sensor that Jack had helped him design last year. The alien engineer's face twitched with what might have been irritation. Simple solutions cannot address quantum-level problems. Maria, who was laying out their repair tools on a worn work mat, shared a knowing look with Tom. They'd seen this attitude before, the belief that more advanced technology always meant better solutions. Watch and learn, Tom said cheerfully. He reached into the access panel and carefully began loosening the damaged coupling. Years of experience had taught him exactly how much pressure to apply. The metal groaned slightly as it came free. The alien engineer's displays immediately lit up with warning signals. The quantum field is destabilizing. One of them called out, we must initiate emergency containment protocols. Just wait, Tom said calmly, holding up the coupling for inspection. The hairline crack was now clearly visible, a thin line that glinted under his work light. See this? Your quantum field is fine. It's just unhappy because its housing isn't properly sealed anymore. First speaker Reed moved closer, studying the damaged part with newfound interest. Our diagnostic systems are designed to detect quantum fluctuations and energy anomalies. They cannot see simple mechanical wear. That's the problem with over-specialized tools, Maria added, already pulling out a replacement coupling from her kit. Sometimes you need to look at the basics first. Tom began installing the new coupling, his movements precise and practiced. The alien engineers watched in fascination as he used nothing more complex than a wrench and his own two hands to solve a problem their advanced AI couldn't figure out. But how did you know to look there? One of the younger alien engineers asked, their professional distance finally cracking under curiosity. Tom smiled as he tightened the last bolt. Experience. When you fixed enough ships, you start to recognize patterns. That weird fluctuation in your drive. I've seen it before when coolant systems aren't properly sealed. Different ships, same basic problems. Jack stepped forward with his scanner, the device cobbled together from parts of 3 different species technology. Want to see something cool? He asked the alien engineers. Watch this. He adjusted some dials, and a simple readout appeared in the air. The energy pattern from the quantum drive was steadily stabilizing, returning to normal operation. The alien engineers' own displays confirmed the improvement, their warning signals fading one by one. Lead engineer First Class Superior stared at the readouts in disbelief. Impossible, they muttered. The solution cannot be this primitive. Sometimes the old ways are the best ways, Tom said, closing his toolbox. Your quantum drive is amazing technology, don't get me wrong. But it still needs physical parts to work, and physical parts can wear out. No shame in that. First speaker Reed had been quietly observing the entire repair process. Now they stepped forward, their tall frame bending slightly in what humans had learned was a gesture of respect. We have been short-sighted, Reed admitted. Our reliance on advanced technology has made us forget the importance of fundamental engineering principles. Tom wiped his hands on a rag and grinned. That's why we're here. Human repair stations fill in the gaps that high-tech solutions sometimes miss. We keep the old skills alive. The youngest alien engineer was still examining Tom's wrench with obvious fascination. Would you be willing to show us more of your repair techniques? Of course, Tom said, feeling the familiar satisfaction of a job well done. Lesson 1. Sometimes the best diagnostic tool is your own eyes and ears. Let me show you what to look for. As Tom began explaining basic mechanical principles to the increasingly interested alien engineers, Maria started updating the repair log. She had a feeling this wouldn't be the last Stellar Confederation ship to visit their station, seeking the unique combination of human experience and practical know-how that no advanced AI could replicate. Director Kate Wilson stared at the line of ships waiting outside Deep Space Repair Station Beta 7. In her 15 years running the station, she'd never seen anything quite like this. There were vessels from at least 6 different alien species, all waiting patiently for human repairs. Tom, she called over the intercom, you might want to see this. The chief engineer appeared a few minutes later, his tool belt jingling as he walked. His eyes widened at the sight of the coup on the main display. Well, he said with a low whistle, looks like our Stellar Confederation friends spread the word. Kate nodded, pulling up the incoming repair requests. 3 quantum drive issues, 2 weapons systems malfunctions, and something about a theoretical impossibility in a gravity generator. They're all asking specifically for human engineers. The impossible ones are always the most fun, Tom said, grinning. He'd barely finished his sentence when another alert flashed on the screen, a new ship joining the crew. The station's communication system lit up. A holographic face appeared, this one belonging to a species they'd never seen before. The alien had metallic scales and 4 eyes arranged in a diamond pattern. This is Captain Bright Crystal of the Merchant Guild, the alien announced. We have heard of your unique repair capabilities. Our ship's AI cannot solve our engine problem. We request human assistance. Kate leaned forward. This is Director Wilson of Beta 7. We're experiencing high demand right now, Captain. Current wait time is approximately 6 hours. Will you need emergency docking? The alien captain's scales rippled in what might have been amusement. 6 hours is nothing. We spent 3 weeks visiting the finest repair stations in the galactic core. None could help. We will wait. After the communication ended, Kate turned to Tom. We need more hands on deck. Call in the off-duty crews and contact Central Command. Tell them to send any qualified engineers they can spare. Tom was already sending messages on his tablet. Maria's team just finished with the Confederation ship. I'll have them start on the quantum drive issues. Jack can handle the weapon systems. What about the gravity generator problem? Kate asked. Tom's eyes lit up. That one's mine. Nothing better than a theoretical impossibility before lunch. Throughout the day, more ships arrived. News had spread through the galaxy's vast communication networks about the human repair station that could fix problems other species' advanced technology couldn't solve. Each successful repair brought more vessels, and with them, more challenges. In the main repair bay, Maria was teaching a group of alien engineers how to recognize mechanical wear patterns. Sometimes the most advanced problems have the simplest causes, she explained, holding up a damaged power coupling. Your sensors might not catch it, but your eyes and hands will. Jack's voice came over the intercom from another repair bay. Director, you might want to see this. The Merchant Guild's watching our repair videos. They're calling it primitive wisdom. Meant as a compliment, I think. Kate smiled. The station's repair procedure videos, originally made for human engineer training, had become surprisingly popular among alien crews. There was something about watching human engineers solve complex problems with basic tools that fascinated more technologically advanced species. Director, her assistant called out, Central Command is on the line. They want to know if we'd be interested in expanding the station. They're getting repair requests from all over the galaxy. Kate looked at the growing queue of ships, then at Tom, who was heading to his next impossible repair with a spring in his step. "Tell them yes," she said, "and ask them to start a training program. We're going to need more engineers who understand both advanced technology and basic mechanics." As she watched Tom disappear into the repair bay, tools jingling at his belt, Kate realized that humanity had found its place in the galactic community. Not through superior technology or powerful weapons, but through something far more valuable: the ability to fix what others couldn't. "Send a message to all waiting ships," she told her assistant. "Tell them Deep Space Repair Station Beta 7 welcomes them, and we'll have them back in space as soon as we can. After all," she added with a smile, "that's what we humans do best. We fix things." The emergency alarm blared through Deep Space Repair Station Beta 7, its urgent tone pulling Tom from a deep sleep. He was on his feet before his mind fully woke up, grabbing his tool belt from its hook by pure habit. "All emergency teams to the control room immediately," Director Kate Wilson's voice commanded over the station speakers. "This is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill." Tom ran into the control room to find Kate standing before a massive holographic display. The image showed a huge passenger ship, easily 4 times the size of anything they usually serviced. Red warning indicators flashed all around it. "Refugee transport," Kate said as soon as she saw Tom. 3,000 passengers from the Outer Rim worlds. They've lost primary and secondary power systems. Life support is failing." Maria and Jack burst into the room next, followed by other engineers who had been sleeping or off duty. Everyone's eyes locked onto the distant ship's image. "The nearest alien repair vessels are already responding," Kate continued, "but their standard procedures aren't working. The ship's captain is requesting human assistance specifically." The display showed 3 alien repair ships hovering around the transport, their advanced energy beams and repair drones seeming to bounce harmlessly off the failing systems. Tom studied the readouts. "That's a Mark 7 colony transport. Old ship, hybrid systems from at least 4 different species. No wonder the alien repair crews can't handle it. Their specialized equipment isn't designed for mixed technology." "Can we help them?" Kate asked quietly. Tom shared a look with his team. "We'll need to try something that's never been done before. Maria, get every spare part we have. Jack, prep the emergency shuttle. We're going to them." Within 15 minutes, the human repair team was launching toward the stricken transport. Through the shuttle's windows, they could see the massive ship's exterior lights flickering weakly. Emergency force fields sparkled as they struggled to maintain the hull's integrity. "Their main reactor is about to fail," Jack reported from his scanner. 10 minutes, maybe less." Tom nodded. "Maria, remember that power coupling trick we used on the mining ship last month? We'll need something like that, but bigger, much bigger." The human shuttle docked alongside the alien repair ships. The other repair crew's leaders appeared on their communication screens, their expressions showing a mix of relief and worry. "Our methods have failed," one of them admitted. "We cannot interface with these mixed systems." "Don't worry," Tom said, already pulling on his spacesuit. "We'll figure something out. We always do." Inside the transport, the situation was worse than they'd feared. The ship's corridors were filled with worried passengers from a dozen different species. Emergency lights cast everything in a dim red glow. The transport's engineering bay was a nightmare of mixed technology. Wires and pipes from different civilizations wound around each other like tangled vines. Warning lights flashed in 6 different languages. "Look at this mess," Maria whispered, but her voice held more excitement than dismay. "It's like someone built a ship out of spare parts." "Which is exactly why we can fix it," Tom said, pulling tools from his belt. "Jack, start rewiring the secondary power grid. Maria, help me with this reactor coupling. We're going to combine every power system on this ship into one big circuit." The alien repair crews watched in amazement as the humans got to work. There was no advanced AI analysis, no complex energy beams. Instead, the humans crawled through maintenance tubes, reconnected wires by hand, and used simple tools to remake complex connections. This goes against all standard procedures, one of the alien engineers protested. Standard procedures aren't going to save these people, Tom replied, hands deep in a tangle of wires. Sometimes you have to improvise. As the reactor's warning tone reached a critical pitch, Tom made the final connection. For a moment, everything went dark. Then, one by one, the ship's systems began to come back online. The lights steadied, the life support readouts climbed back to normal levels, and a cheer went up from the watching passengers. Tom wiped sweat from his forehead, leaving a streak of grease behind. Tell the captain we'll need about 6 hours to make these repairs permanent. But for now, everyone's safe. The alien repair crew leaders stared at the human team with new respect. One of them stepped forward. We would be honored, they said slowly, if you would teach us your methods. Tom smiled, already reaching for his next tool. Lesson 1. Sometimes the biggest problems need the simplest solutions. Back at Deep Space Repair Station Beta 7, Tom and his team gathered around a large table covered with parts from the refugee transport repair. The successful rescue had drawn even more attention to the human repair station, and now they faced a new challenge: teaching their methods to others. The alien repair crews want to know how we knew what to do, Maria said, holding up one of the hybrid power couplings they'd created during the emergency. They keep asking about our secret techniques. Tom picked up a piece of the jury-rigged power system they'd built. It was a strange mix of parts, some from the newest Stellar Confederation ships, others from old cargo haulers, all somehow working together. There's no secret, he said, turning the piece in his hands. We just see problems differently. Where they look for perfect solutions, we look for what works. Director Kate Wilson walked in, followed by representatives from 3 different alien repair services. The aliens stared at the table of parts with obvious curiosity. Show them, Kate said simply. Tom nodded and picked up 2 completely different power connectors, one sleek and new, the other old and worn. Look at these. Most repair crews would say these parts can't work together. They're from different species, different centuries even. But he pulled out his tools and began working on the connectors. His hands moved quickly, making small adjustments, adding a piece here, removing one there. The aliens watched intently as he combined the 2 parts into something new. The secret isn't in having the best technology, Tom explained as he worked. It's about understanding how things work at their most basic level. Once you understand that, you can mix and match to solve almost any problem. Maria stepped forward with her famous repair kit. She dumped its contents on the table. A bizarre collection of parts from dozens of different species technologies. Every piece here has a story, she said. Every repair teaches us something new. We keep what works, adapt what doesn't, and always look for new ways to combine things. One of the alien representatives, a tall being with crystalline features, picked up the hybrid connector Tom had just made. This contradicts everything we were taught about technological compatibility. That's the problem, Jack said, joining the conversation. Too many rules about what you can't do. Not enough thinking about what you might be able to do. Tom walked over to a workbench and pulled up a holographic display, one of the few pieces of advanced technology he regularly used. It showed the refugee transport's power system, now a unique blend of old and new technology working together in ways their original designers never imagined. During the crisis, we didn't have time to wait for perfect solutions, he explained. We had to use what we had and make it work. That's the human way. We adapt, we improvise, we overcome. The aliens studied the display, their expressions showing growing understanding. The crystal being spoke again. Your technology is not primitive at all. It is flexible, adaptable. Exactly, Kate said. That's why ships come to us. Not because we have the most advanced tools, but because we know how to use every tool available to us, old or new, simple or complex. Tom started laying out more hybrid repairs they'd created over the years. Each one told a story of human ingenuity meeting alien technology, of practical solutions found in moments of crisis. "This is what we want to teach you," he said to the alien representatives. "Not just how to fix things, but how to think about fixing things, how to see beyond the usual solutions." Maria held up another of their hybrid creations. Every piece of technology, no matter how advanced, still follows basic physical laws. Understanding those laws lets us combine technologies in new ways. The aliens gathered around the table, their initial skepticism replaced by genuine interest. They began asking questions, handling the hybrid repairs, seeing with new eyes how human innovation had bridged gaps between different technologies. "We don't just fix ships," Tom said, watching their growing excitement. "We evolve how repairs are done. Every problem is a chance to learn something new, to create something that's never existed before." Kate smiled as she watched the impromptu lesson unfold. The human repair station was becoming more than just a place to fix broken ships. It was becoming a center of innovation, where the best of human creativity met the most advanced alien technology, creating something greater than either could be alone. Deep Space Repair Station Beta 7 had changed dramatically in the months following the refugee ship incident. What was once a simple repair station now buzzed with activity as aliens from across the galaxy came not just for repairs, but to learn. Tom walked through the station's newly expanded main hall, dodging groups of visitors from at least 8 different species. The station's walls, once plain metal, now displayed holographic diagrams showing various repair techniques. But next to each high-tech display hung something more important: physical tools and parts that visitors could actually touch and handle. "Teaching going well?" he asked Maria, who was showing a group of crystalline beings how to detect microfractures using nothing but light and shadow. "They're fast learners," she replied with a smile. "Once they get past the idea that everything needs a computer to fix it." The station now hosted regular classes where human engineers taught alien repair crews their methods. Director Kate Wilson had turned one entire section into what she called the Practical Learning Center, though most visitors just called it the workshop. Inside the workshop, Jack was teaching a particularly interesting lesson. He had laid out parts from 10 different species ships on a table, all with similar functions, but very different designs. "Look past what they're supposed to be," he told his alien students. "Look at what they actually do. Sometimes the fanciest quantum regulator and the simplest pressure valve aren't so different after all." One of the alien engineers, a tall being with iridescent scales, raised their hand. "But our repair protocols strictly forbid mixing technologies from different sources." "Protocols are good," Jack said, picking up 2 seemingly incompatible parts. "But they're guidelines, not chains. Watch this." His hands moved quickly, making small adjustments to both pieces before connecting them in a way that shouldn't have worked, but did. The alien students gasped as the hybrid device hummed to life. The scaled engineer moved closer, multiple eyes blinking in surprise. "How did you know that would work?" "I didn't," Jack admitted, "but I understood the basic principles behind both parts. Sometimes you have to try things to learn what's possible." In another part of the station, Tom found himself in a different kind of exchange. A group of alien engineers had brought their own tools and repair methods to share with the humans. They were learning from each other, creating new techniques that combined the best of both approaches. "Your sonic resonance detector," Tom said, holding up an elegant alien device, "works perfectly with our old vibration meters. Together, they can spot problems neither tool could find alone." The alien engineer nodded enthusiastically. "And your method of manual diagnosis helps us understand our own technology better. We had forgotten the importance of physical interaction with our machines." Director Kate Wilson watched all this from her office, smiling at the sight of humans and aliens working together, learning from each other. Her computer chimed with another message from Central Command: the 15th request this week to establish similar programs at other human repair stations. "Tom," she called over the intercom, "got a minute?" He arrived shortly, his tool belt now sporting a few alien devices alongside his trusty old wrench. "Look at this," Kate said, showing him the latest station statistics. "Repair success rates are up 40% since we started the exchange program. Both human and alien crews are solving problems faster than ever before." "It makes sense," Tom said, watching through the window as Maria's students practiced with both high-tech scanners and simple hand tools. "We're not just fixing ships anymore. We're fixing how people think about repairs." A commotion near the main docks caught their attention. A new ship was arriving, massive, ancient, and clearly built from technologies of at least a dozen different species. "Now that," Tom said with a grin, "looks like an interesting challenge." Kate laughed. "Want to make it a class project?" "Perfect," Tom replied, already heading for the door. Nothing teaches problem-solving better than a real problem to solve. As he walked to meet the new ship, Tom passed more training sessions, more exchanges of knowledge, more barriers breaking down between species. The repair station had become more than just a place to fix broken ships. It had become a bridge between cultures, proving that sometimes the best way to bring people together was to let them work together, solving problems side by side. 1 year after the refugee ship incident, Deep Space Repair Station Beta 7 hosted the first Galactic Engineering Conference. Ships of all sizes and designs filled the surrounding space, their crews gathering to celebrate a new age of cooperation in space repair technology. Tom stood at the main podium, looking out at an audience that included beings from every known spacefaring species. His old tool belt hung at his waist, now a symbol recognized across the galaxy as a badge of practical engineering wisdom. "A year ago," he began, "most of you wouldn't have considered coming to a human repair station. Now look at us, all here together, learning from each other, growing stronger together." The massive conference hall had been specially built for this event. Along its walls, screens showed live feeds from other human repair stations across space, all now centers of learning and innovation. Each station had its own story of impossible repairs made possible through the combination of human ingenuity and alien technology. Director Kate Wilson joined Tom at the podium. "Today, the Stellar Confederation has officially recognized human repair methods as an essential part of galactic infrastructure," she announced. "But more importantly, they've recognized something we've known all along, that the best solutions come from working together." The audience erupted in applause, a strange but wonderful mix of sounds as each species expressed approval in their own way. In the front row, first speaker Reed, the same alien whose ship problem had started it all, nodded in appreciation. Maria and Jack stood nearby, each wearing the new official uniform of the Galactic Repair Corps, a design that included pockets for both advanced alien tools and simple human implements. Their teams now included members from a dozen different species, all trained in both high-tech and hands-on repair methods. "Let me show you something special," Tom said, gesturing to a large object covered by a sheet. He pulled it away to reveal a strange but beautiful device. "This is the Universal Repair Interface, designed by human and alien engineers working together. It combines our practical methods with advanced alien technology." The device looked like a perfect blend of old and new, physical controls alongside holographic displays, simple mechanical parts working in harmony with quantum sensors. It represented everything the repair station had become, a bridge between different approaches, different species, different ways of thinking. "But remember," Tom continued, patting his trusted old wrench, "the most important tools will always be these: our hands, our minds, and our willingness to try new things." From her seat in the audience, Kate watched as teams of mixed species demonstrated new repair techniques. Humans taught aliens how to feel the vibration of a failing engine, while aliens showed humans how to read quantum fluctuations. Each group learned from the other, creating something greater than either could achieve alone. A young alien engineer raised their hand. "But what happens when technology advances beyond these simple methods?" Tom smiled. "That's the beauty of it. No matter how advanced technology becomes, understanding the basics will always matter. Machines may change, but the laws of physics stay the same. And sometimes, the simplest solution is still the best one. As if to prove his point, an emergency call came in. A ship with a complex problem that needed immediate attention. Without hesitation, mixed teams of human and alien engineers sprang into action, grabbing both high-tech scanners and simple tools. Kate stepped forward to close the ceremony. This is the future we've built together. Not humans teaching aliens or aliens teaching humans, but all of us learning from each other. Every repair makes us better. Every problem teaches us something new. The crowd rose in a standing ovation as the emergency repair teams rushed to help the troubled ship. On screens around the hall, similar scenes played out at repair stations across the galaxy. Humans and aliens working side by side, combining their knowledge and skills to keep the ships of 1,000 worlds flying. Tom watched it all with pride, his hand resting on his old tool belt. The galaxy had changed, and humans had helped change it. Not through superior technology or military might, but through the simple willingness to roll up their sleeves, grab a wrench, and fix whatever needed fixing. In the end, that was humanity's greatest gift to the galaxy. The reminder that sometimes the most advanced civilization isn't the one with the fanciest tools, but the one that remembers the importance of the basics and isn't afraid to get their hands dirty making things work.